In ancient Israel, the people suffered under the rule of the Philistines. They cried out to God for help. And so, an angel appeared to a barren woman with a prophecy. "You will bear a son. He will be a Nazirite, set apart for God. No razor shall touch his head, and through him Israel will be delivered." The child was born and named Samson. From his youth it was clear. This was no ordinary boy. Strength pulsed through his veins, a power given by God himself. One day, while traveling, Samson encountered a lion. With a mighty roar, it leaped at him. Most men would flee, but Samson, he stood firm. Without hesitation, he grabbed the beast with his bare hands. Muscles tensed. The lion struggled, but Samson overpowered it, tearing it apart as if it were nothing. Time passed. Samson returned to the place and saw something unusual. The lion's carcass now housed a swarm of bees. Reaching inside, he took the honey and ate it. Later, at his wedding feast, he challenged the Philistines with a riddle. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. Days passed. The Philistines couldn't solve it. Desperate, they threatened Samson's wife, forcing her to get the answer. When they finally responded correctly, Samson knew he had been betrayed. Rage burned within him. He stormed into a Philistine city, struck down 30 men, and took their garments as payment. His war against the Philistines had begun. Later, the Philistines sought revenge. They surrounded him with an army. "Even your strength has limits," they mocked. Samson, bound in ropes, lifted his eyes to the heavens. "Lord, strengthen me once more." The ropes snapped. Samson grabbed the nearest weapon, a donkey's jawbone, and charged into battle. One man, 1,000 enemies. But Samson was unstoppable. He swung the jawbone with supernatural force, crushing armor, knocking warriors to the ground. The battlefield became a graveyard. But Samson had a weakness: love. In Gaza, he fell for a woman named Delilah. But Delilah was not what she seemed. One night, as he lay with his head in her lap, she whispered, "Samson, tell me, what makes you so strong?" He chuckled and gave false answers. New ropes, fresh bowstrings. But each time, Delilah betrayed him, calling the Philistines to capture him. Again and again, she pleaded, "If you truly love me, you will tell me your secret." Finally, Samson sighed. "If my hair is cut, I will be like any other man." That night, as he slept, Delilah called a Philistine soldier. A blade gleamed in the dim light. With a quiet snip, Samson's fate was sealed. When he awoke, the Philistines were upon him. He reached for his strength, but it was gone. They seized him, bound him in chains, and gouged out his eyes. The mighty warrior who once struck down armies was now a blind, broken prisoner. The Philistines threw a grand feast in their temple, bringing Samson out to mock him. "Where is your strength now?" they laughed. Samson, weak and blinded, reached out. His hands found two great pillars. He whispered one final prayer. "Lord, remember me. Give me strength one last time." With a deep breath, he pushed. The pillars cracked, the temple trembled, stone crumbled, the ground shook, and in one final act, Samson brought the house down. The temple collapsed, crushing thousands, including the Philistine leaders. Samson had won his greatest battle in his final moments. His story is one of strength and weakness, power and betrayal. But in the end, it was not his strength that made him great. It was his faith. What will you choose? Strength or faith? Like, share, and subscribe for more epic Bible stories.